Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, I have a special treat for you. I'm going to tell you about 3 creepy true school lockdown stories. Are you ready to get scared? Let's begin. The first story is about the echoing silence. In the heart of a small town, the old school stood as a relic of the past, its hallways echoing with the whispers of bygone eras. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the playground, an unexpected announcement crackled over the intercom. Attention, lockdown is now in effect. Please proceed to the nearest classroom immediately. The students, accustomed to drills, shuffled into the nearest rooms, the laughter and chatter fading as the doors clicked shut. But this was no drill. Outside, the world was silent, eerily so. No birds chirped, no leaves rustled, and even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Inside room 104, a group of students huddled together, their eyes wide with confusion. The teacher, Mr. Thompson, tried to reassure them, but his voice was drowned out by a sudden, chilling sound, an echo that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It was a whisper, a plea, a cry for help that resonated through the walls. Don't let it out. The students clung to each other, fear mounting as the echo grew louder, more insistent. The lights flickered, casting the room into darkness, and the temperature dropped, their breaths visible in the air. Then silence. Complete and total silence. It was in this suffocating quiet that they heard it, the soft, slow tap of footsteps approaching. Tap, tap, tap. Each step was deliberate, measured, as if whatever walked the halls knew exactly where it was going. The door handle to room 104 jiggled, then turned, but the door remained closed, locked from the inside. Mr. Thompson, summoning all his courage, approached the door, his hand trembling as he reached for the knob. The students begged him not to open it, but he whispered back, "We have to know." With a swift movement, he flung the door open, revealing the empty, dark corridor. But the echo persisted, growing into a cacophony of voices, all whispering the same warning. Don't let it out. The realization dawned on them. The school wasn't trying to keep something out. It was trying to keep something in. As the lockdown continued, the students were left to wonder what secrets the school held within its walls. What was this entity that sought release? And would they survive the night to find out? The echoing silence had begun, and it would not be silenced until its story was heard. The second story is about the unseen visitor. In the quiet town of Eldridge, whispers of the old schoolhouse had always stirred unease among its residents. The building, abandoned for decades, stood as a silent sentinel, its darkened windows like hollow eyes watching over the town. It was said that during a lockdown drill in the 1950s, something inexplicable occurred, something that left an indelible mark on the town's history. The story begins on a stormy afternoon when the school bell's shrill ring echoed through the corridors, signaling a lockdown. Teachers herded the students into classrooms, locking doors and covering windows. The drill was routine, yet the atmosphere was anything but. The wind howled, and the rain battered against the windows, as if nature itself was trying to break in. As the minutes ticked by, a sense of dread settled over room 104. The students huddled together, their whispers falling silent as a chill crept through the room. It was then that they noticed the figure standing in the corner, a shadowy outline barely discernible against the darkened wall. No one had seen it enter. It was as if it had materialized from the very air. The figure was tall and gaunt, with eyes that glowed a faint red in the gloom. It stood motionless, its gaze sweeping over the children who were now frozen in terror. The teacher, Mrs. Danvers, mustered her courage and approached the figure, demanding to know its identity. But as she drew closer, the figure vanished, leaving behind a cold spot and the faint scent of decay. Panic erupted as the lockdown ended and the children fled the school, their screams piercing the storm. The police found no evidence of a break-in, and no stranger was seen leaving the premises. Yet, the children's accounts were eerily similar, and none could forget the red-eyed specter that had visited them. The school was soon closed, deemed unsafe due to the inexplicable occurrences that followed. Objects would move on their own, strange whispers echoed in empty halls, and the figure with the red eyes was seen peering from the windows at night. Years passed, and the story of the unseen visitor became a legend, a tale to frighten children. But those who were there during the lockdown knew the truth, that something otherworldly had walked among them that day, leaving a haunting question in its wake: what was the unseen visitor, and why had it come to room 104? To this day, the old schoolhouse stands, its doors locked, a silent testament to the mystery that remains unsolved. And sometimes, on stormy nights, the townsfolk swear they can see a pair of red eyes watching them from the shadows of the abandoned school. The third story is about the Forgotten Wing. In the heart of an old town, there was a school known for its prestigious history and academic excellence. But beneath its accolades lay whispers of a forgotten wing, sealed off and shrouded in mystery. The locals spoke of it in hushed tones, and students exchanged wild tales of the horrors that lurked within. As fate would have it, a group of students found themselves trapped in the school during an unexpected lockdown. With nowhere to go, curiosity and fear drove them towards the forbidden wing. The air grew colder as they approached, and the dimming lights flickered with a ghostly pulse. The wing was unlike any part of the school they knew. The walls were lined with peeling paint, and the silence was oppressive, broken only by their own ragged breaths. They found classrooms frozen in time, desks arranged as if waiting for students who would never return. In one room, the chalkboard bore an eerie message: "Don't look behind you." The warning sent chills down their spines, but it was too late. Shadows danced at the edge of their vision, and the sound of children's laughter echoed through the halls, though no living soul was in sight. As the night wore on, the students realized they were not alone. The Forgotten Wing was home to the spirits of those who once roamed its halls, trapped in an endless cycle of a school day that had no end. Desks moved on their own, doors slammed shut, and the ghostly figures of children appeared, beckoning them deeper into the wing. The students, driven by a mix of terror and determination, sought to uncover the truth behind the wing's abandonment. They discovered old records of a tragedy long buried by the school's administration, a fire that claimed the lives of an entire class, their existence wiped from the school's history. As dawn approached, the lockdown was lifted, and the students emerged from the wing forever changed. They spoke of their harrowing night, but few believed them. The Forgotten Wing was sealed once more, its secrets and spirits locked away, waiting for the next curious souls brave enough to venture into its depths. And so, the legend of the Forgotten Wing at school lockdown lived on, a chilling reminder of the past that refused to be forgotten. These are just one of the many horror stories. There are many more out there, waiting to be discovered and told. Do you have any horror stories of your own? Share them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more spooky content. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious. Bye.